The RBS Six Nations is upon us, the World Cup is looming into view, and it is time for Chris Robshaw and his men to go to work. Welcome to O2 Inside Line. David and Mike, welcome to O2 Inside Line. And we're going to talk about a couple of bits that potentially could be key for this year's opener, starting with a set piece.
One of the things that was key with Australia is they're very, very good when the ball's in open play, phase to phase, they're very good. So if we can tire those guys out a bit more and take more advantage, like I say, it's not just about getting ascendancy in what you're doing, but it's about reaping reward from it. So we have a long scrum against Australia, and once they start to break, you see their back row trying to fish around and stay with them. But the damage is already done. Once they're going backwards, we've won the penalty, and we'll now continue to exert pressure on them in that way.
Mike, you've obviously got front row seats to the white wall in front of you. How important is defence for England when you run out onto that field?
We put a lot of emphasis and practice time into it. Here they were getting a quick ruck, so no one's dived in and put our defensive line under pressure by creating other spaces. So we've got our line together and we're getting off the line, putting dominant hits in, again picking the right time. There was a perfect time for someone to come in and put their man under pressure, because we slowed their ball up, and then
through comes the big boot.
Yeah, through comes the big man, put more pressure on him forwardly, brilliantly backing him up, and that's the pressure that we bring makes them make mistakes, and they end up back in their own territory, and we're putting them under pressure. Having been there in 2013, how long has Wales in Cardiff in 2015 been ringed in red in your diary? I've grown up watching England-Wales games, ever since I was about 5, 6 years old with my dad, and means a lot to play in them, so hopefully I'll get that opportunity, and it will be another great occasion, but hopefully we can turn the tide and make it a better one for us. I hope it goes really well. Can't wait to watch it, Mike. Thanks very much. Cheers. The headline selection seems to be Jonathan Joseph in at 12 to partner Luther Burrell. The first time they've played together in an international, going up against one of the most experienced pairings in world rugby in Davis and Roberts. What do you think England need from this centre combination on Friday, and how excited are you to see what they can do?
Well, first thing is they've got to click. They're all right at the millennium, and there's going to be no honeymoon period there. But what we do have is Jonathan Joseph, for me, is most definitely the in-form 13 in Europe, playing wonderful rugby. He's the game changer. He can really break the game up. And against those two guys, in Jamie Robertson, Jonathan Davis, he hopefully caused them some problems. And Luther Burrell, hey, last year, Six Nations, he was one of the men in the tournament, at his very best, will cause them problems defensively and in attack. Together, those two could really be dynamite. OK, and obviously England will want a platform to play with, they'll want the ball. Where do you think England's forwards can perhaps get the edge over Wales? I think get the edge in every aspect. You look at that back row of Robshaw, Haskell and Billy. I mean, they've got so much ball carrying ability. The scrum and the line-out, we saw exactly what they could do in November. They've got the best pack in the world, in my opinion. Regardless of all the speak about injuries and whatnot, they can really stick it to them. Let's bring it on now. Good stuff. Talking of the coaching staff, let's get the thoughts now of the England head coach, Stuart Lancaster.
In the back line, there's exciting talent. Anthony Watson, Jonny May, the wheels they've got on the wings, and Jonathan Joseph, deserving his chance with his form for Bath. George Ford as well, playing well along with Ben Young. So, I think we've got a real good balance across the board, really.
Everyone is talking about the cauldron of Cardiff on Friday night. What do England need to do to get it to go quite quickly?
We've got to play down their half, take the sting out of the game, and then it's just about holding the ball and then taking the points when they're on offer. It's
a massive year, World Cup coming up in 8 months. You must be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, I think we're both really excited to go out there, and I think playing against great players, so we'll have to respect them and be at our best. And on top of that, back up our game with some good groundwork in terms of kick chase and defensively be solid in those areas as well.
Going to Cardiff's never easy, but we're putting good preparation all week, and I think all the boys are ready and raring to go.
Good stuff. As we hope it goes really, really well. Thank you very much, Steve, for taking the time to talk to us. Of course, it is England against Wales Friday night at the start of this year's RBS Six Nations. We will, of course, be there with O2 Inside Line, and to get involved, simply use the hashtag O2 Inside Line. Fingers crossed, all England fans.